Hello, students. Just want to say that you're doing a great job so far. But every week, as I said before, I'm going to try to give you some notes from the chapters. So I know that you're reading the chapters, but there's also some things that I might be able to add from my own personal experience and teaching experience to help you understand some of the material better. So chapter 2, right, is about grammar mostly. And grammar is part of a writer's toolbox, as Duval says. And unfortunately, most of us struggle with one or more elements of grammar. Some people struggle with commas, some with sentence fragments, and many people still incorrectly use the semicolon. Here's a hint. Only use it as a period, never use it as a comma. Um, Sorry about the traffic noise, but there is it's one of the nicest days of the year so far, so there's going to be a lot of traffic. The dictionary definition of grammar is, quote, the whole system and structure of a language or of languages in general, usually taken as consisting of syntax and morphology, including inflections, and sometimes also phonology and semantics. There are rules, basically, in grammar that we have to follow in order for a mass audience to understand us. The rules also, as writers, force us to take our thoughts and put them into a form that most people can understand. To me, I actually find grammar helpful, right? Because we have these ideas, we have these observations, we have all this research. We need to kind of condense it and put it into a form that is as simple as possible for us and the reader. And so that kind of forces my mind to put things into their most basic elements, which is really important for writing for mass media. Note that without good grammar, most media organizations will not hire you. One mistake in a clip or resume, a story, can ruin a perfectly good job opportunity. Ask me how I know? Well, I know because I went in for a job interview at a radio station, a news radio station, and I had to read right from the paper. Apparently, I hadn't practiced enough, and apparently, I was hungry as well because what I did was instead of saying today in Macedonia, I said today in Macadamia. Macadamia is in Macedonia is a country. Anyway, I didn't get the job. One mistake. So this is why we really need to kind of revise and edit our works, listen to our work. If I'm doing something that's written out, I might read it out loud and listen for any mistakes. And then we also want to identify any continuing problems. If you know you struggle with sentence fragments, then let's work on that this semester. If you know you struggle with comma usage, let's work on that. So grammar is really important. Um, but it's just one of the tools we use. The lexicon is the collection of words we use, right? New words are added every year. For example, I believe that John actually made it into the dictionary. So we need to be aware of the words that are available to us to use. Now, semantics refers to what a word represents, but note that semantics is different for different people. For example, what does the word patriot mean to you? Well, people in the January 6th insurrection believe they were patriots. Those of us who are against insurrections consider ourselves patriots, right? So the definition of the word depends on some of our own biases, right? So it means something different for different people. Think of the American flag. The American flag is a symbol, but it's a symbol of different things for different people, right? Now, phonology is the system in which words are spoken. There are only 40 sounds in the English language, yet there are over 170,000 words in the English language made up from those 40 sounds. Types of sentences. This is really important to know. This is probably review from even grade school, middle school, etc. But there's four types of sentences actually we use. But note that each sentence has to contain a subject and predicate and complete a thought. So most of the time in writing for mass media, we're going to use the simple sentence. CCP is great. Now, if we want to combine two sentences, two complete sentences, we use some kind of conjunction. For example, CCP is great and I love it here. That's a compound sentence. Then we also have a complex sentence, which is CCP is great, comma, when I choose the right professors. Now, we also have a compound complex sentence. CCP is great and I love it here when I choose the right professors. Note that an independent clause is a complete sentence. CCP is great. Note that the dependent clause, noted here by dependent marker word when, is when I choose the right professors. CCP is great is a complete sentence. When I choose the right professors is not a complete sentence because it starts off with one of those words, right? So note that a dependent clause is not a complete sentence. Another part of our toolbox, parts of speech, right? Nouns. Names of objects or concepts, for example, dog, cat, happiness. Pronouns, substitute for a noun, she, he, they, it. We have adjectives that modify nouns. fast, slow, kind. Adverbs modify verbs or adjectives or other adverbs. They often end in ly, quickly, seriously. Then we have conjunctions that can connect words and phrases, and, but, etc. We have prepositions which accompany nouns or pronouns to modify other nouns, in, at, from, to, on, with. And then we have interjections like wow. These are just some parts of our toolbox that we're going to use for writing for mass media this semester. So that's just a brief overview of the chapter. Of course, the chapter has more details. As always, you can email me if you have any questions. All right.